Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. It is the 7th of June 2018. Just a quick one on the back of what I was talking about on the last pursuit, about the non-sequitur, show how people, when they have different opinions, they squabble against each other. And then I was thinking about this idea then based on my perception of human beings, which I guess is an accurate one, that we are all different, we do all argue, and we bicker, and we fall out, and we get back together, and we have difference of opinions, and people see things differently, and each person's truth is slightly different from another's. Let's not get on to whether that means there is no absolute truth, but then I was wondering, well then, is it possible that there could be heaven? Because I'm just thinking that based on everyone here, obviously I know that the concept of heaven and how in the sense that they will, people will be weighed, as it were, and will be separated into those areas based on their good deeds or bad deeds, or more of the other, whatever process it is that takes place that only God knows, really. But if you imagine, there's lots of people that go to heaven, say, and there are lots of good people, but how are they going to get on with each other? Heaven is meant to be this place of tranquility, I can't even say the word tranquility, where rivers flow and all that kind of stuff, and it's like the Garden of Eden, but in heaven, everything's perfect. There's no death. There's no need for food. There's, there may be food, but there's no need for it. That's what I mean. That we may not even be in this sense the same. Like how a baby is born in the womb, different to what it comes out as a baby. The same that we will not come out like a human. Our soul is what's inside in that womb. It goes inside the baby, then it leaves, then it goes to heaven, and like in the Quran it mentions like a white and a black colour or something like that, depending on how much you've affected your soul. Because it seems to be that the understanding is that your soul is inside you. It's changing colour, maybe that's metaphorically based on the deeds that you do. So you're nurturing it based on everything you do has a reaction to that. Same as like when a mother has a child, everything she does has a reaction to that child. But I'm getting a point. The point I'm trying to make is that there could be like 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 people who are all good enough to get into heaven. How are they going to get along with each other? Or does it mean that all those people that bicker against each other are not going to heaven? I don't know, but I'm just trying to imagine, like, there's loads of people that go to church and mosques and synagogues and temples and gurdwaras or whatever, even those who don't. It doesn't matter whether you do or don't, as long as you follow the faith as best as you can. But they don't get on with each other, not all of them. There's always infighting, and there's always people with different egos and stuff. So can a place like heaven exist? It sort of made me think about, I know that Subtle Infinity and a few others on the Flat Earth are talking about, whether God is also, the religion is also a controlled thing. I don't know whether I believe that or not, because there's so much good that's in the Bible and the Quran that tells people to be free, that tells people to do all the good things. So, but then I can see where they could get that understanding that it is a method of control, isn't it? But then that would make sense in the sense that, like, how could heaven exist when we know what humans are like? It does seem like a bit of a utopia, a bit of a writer's dream, that there could be this place where everyone gets on. But then maybe given the right circumstances, we wouldn't have all these bickering. Maybe the reason we have all this bickering and infighting and disagreement and egos and all that stuff is because of how we're schooled and this planet here, how it is. Whereas in heaven there won't be all this need for money and greed and possession and all that stuff. I don't know. maybe we'll act differently depending on our circumstances when we're reborn, as it were, into heaven, hell. Yeah, anyway, it just came to my mind that thinking about how people are and how people disagree with each other and don't get along, and yet they can all hold the same beliefs. And yet, how then will they reconcile that in heaven? Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.